this has been the best rivalry here in Boston.
They've had some excellent games. I mean, some of the really close and tight-fought games were between these two teams.
Final fly. James with the block. Tanasia Drayton gets the basket and one.
Nice step through that time to avoid the defense.
Jordan Galloway somehow got that one to go.
The New Mission Titans are the Division II state champions.
Hello, Boston. Welcome to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for the 2017 Boston City Championships. Tonight, first up, we got the Girls City Championship as the New Mission Titans take on the Fenway Panthers. Everybody, I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, Alan Platt. Alan, every season the city championships seem to be the funnest games of the year. We always have a blaster at Madison Park High School. For the girls' side, it just seems like you can rubber stamp New Mission and Fenway right in there every season.
We talked about these two back in November, right?
Right.
So, and it turned out that way. Now, they got here sort of different routes, but like you said, almost every year for the past 5 or 6 years, it's either been Fenway or New Mission sort of on top of the heap.
That's right. Fenway won it last year in a 2-point game against New Mission. It was a very good game last 2016 Girls City Championship. Certainly New Mission wants to avenge that loss from last season. On the Fenway side of things, they lost a couple of 1,000-point scorers last year, but Shania Tarver is probably the player that has had to pick up the slack scoring-wise. She's one of the players that we're going to look out for.
No doubt. Shania is number one. She actually started out as a freshman, as more of a defensive specialist, but last year as a sophomore, and more so this year as a junior, she's a much more all-around player. She can score when she wants to, when the team needs it. She drives the basket very well, and she still plays that top defense.
Without question, very long, athletic, small forward for the Fenway Panthers. Meanwhile, on the other side for New Mission, yesterday they beat Latin Academy in a pretty tight game, but were able to come through in the end. And two of their biggest contributors were their freshmen, including Ashley Surrett, who had a very good all-around game. She's our spotlight player tonight.
Well, Ashley, you mentioned young players, and what you say, let freshmen be served, right? Because both teams have at least 5 freshmen on this varsity. Surrett, as you mentioned, another number one. We've seen her in middle school. She's part of that Surrett, sister clan of players.
That's right.
And she, like you said, yesterday she was able to really pull through in the semifinal games to get her team here for the championship.
Yeah, out of the 4 Surrett sisters, a lot of folks think that she is possibly the most talented.
Potentially, overall. Oh, yeah.
Great all-around game yesterday. 11 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, and 7 steals for Ashley Surrett, who has been a very big contributor for this team despite being a freshman. Jashari Green was actually the team's leading scorer yesterday with 14 points. She's a freshman, so despite these being pressure cooker games here at Madison Park High, the freshmen for New Mission have been getting it done.
I'll tell you, and let's not forget, even though you're talking about 9th graders, these are girls who played recreation, AAU, middle school. They played probably for the last 3 or 4 years in competitive official games with referees, so they're used to the atmosphere. They're used to the fact that it's just a game, so relax and play. So 9th graders, or freshmen as we say, just as important as the upperclassmen at this point.
Without question, we'll certainly look for those freshmen here tonight to step up once again for the Lady Titans. Now for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. I had a chance to talk to Mitchell Hercule about the first time these two teams played back in January, and a couple points of emphasis. First, Tanasia Drayton, his senior point guard, needs to be more aggressive. He asked that she shoots at least 15 times per game. She didn't get close to that many attempts and finished in single digits in the loss. That put a lot more pressure on Jashari Green, one of his freshmen, who just wasn't ready for that kind of pressure against this Fenway defense. He thinks that both players will be more aggressive, and it should take off some of the pressure from Jashari. The other big focus is free throws. This New Mission team, he admits, is not a very good free throw shooting team. 5 of 19 yesterday in a win over Latin Academy, and it really hurt them as they weren't able to pull away till late. He hopes that if they can shoot 75% today, and they've been focusing on it in practice, including before today's game, shooting 5 free throws each at both free throw lines, trying to really get used to this depth perception, that'll be a key in today's victory. On the other side, for Fenway, they're mostly healthy, but they did lose one player. Christina Edwards, unavailable today. She fell down some steps. She should be fine going forward, but won't play in today's contest. Takes away one of the many players that come off the bench for this John Rice-led team. Guys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Seth. And certainly when you talk about close games, championship games, it is often free throws, little things like that
Rebounding
that
free
can
throws,
mean the difference.
Yeah, well, no doubt about that. And both these coaches know that. I mean, John Rice has been around a little longer than Mitch Hercule, but they're both sort of veteran coaches. And they've led these girls' programs very well, and sort of in different ways. Because, like I said, the fact that both teams lost some important seniors from last year, the coaches are not afraid to allow freshmen to step right into those roles, play big minutes, and just see how they perform.
No question. They did that yesterday. We'll see if they can do that again today. It's the 2017 Girls City Championship. The Fenway Panthers taking on the New Mission Titans. We're going to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening tap here from Madison Park High School right after these words.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can
get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
all of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education?
What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job?
Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher.
You got the skills, the smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess?
What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for the 2017 Girls BPS City Basketball Championship. Fenway taking on New Mission. Starters for the New Mission Titans.
Well, Fenway's going to be in black. Meanwhile, New Mission will be in white.
They're the starters for New Mission: Drayton, Green, Young, Surrett, and Sally. And meanwhile, for Fenway, it's David, Thornton, Tarver, Gully, and Carter.
Official Helen White to start us off.
We're underway here at Madison Park High. Tarver from the corner to get it going. Nothing but nylon from three-point land.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because she went right to her spot, hit the three-pointer. Now, like I said, in the earlier years, she would have been a little hesitant to take that kind of shot. There's scrum on the floor. Ball's going to stay with New Mission. Drayton trying to find a teammate inside. Will travel.
Got to go back to Fenway. Fenway forced a lot of turnovers yesterday versus O'Brien.
Well, that's their style. They'll jump into that full court or three-quarter court defensive press. New Mission will do it also. New Mission right now is going to be in a three-quarter court press.
Fenway's got to take a timeout here.
Yeah.
7:27 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, because it's out of bounds, bounced out of bounds. You can't, the inbounder can't move. She had to stay in the same spot, and her teammates just weren't. Looks like Fenway was almost caught by surprise. I'm not sure why, because, like I said, Mitch Hercules likes to go full court pressure, try to have his defense turn into quick offense. You know, like we were talking in the open, Pat, about all the ninth graders, the freshmen, and it is pretty amazing. I mean, you're talking about Fenway with 5 freshmen, and New Mission with 6 freshmen, and a couple of them are key players, and that's a little unusual, but it's good to see because from a coaching standpoint, for both these programs, you're talking about girls who can now you can look for them to play 4 solid seasons or 3 more solid seasons after this one.
That's right. We've also talked about how both teams lost very good seniors from last year. New Mission losing their big center, meanwhile Fenway losing 2,000-point scorers.
Right.
So a lot of times you need freshmen to kind of step up
They're
when you lose that
gaps.
kind of talent.
They're filling those gaps somehow. Fenway trying to attack, and there'll be a first foul of the game. Good job getting to the basket, Natalie David. Now, Natalie, number 20, she's going to be handling the ball most of the time, along with Thornton, Deja Thornton. David will get 2 free throws to start out.
Natalie David, shoot 2.
David knocks down the first. Natalie has the task of replacing a 1,000-point scoring point guard.
That's right.
From last season. As she goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
A lot of times when you have veteran coaches, losing a lot of offense can make up with the system. Another traveling violation. Say, New Mission's having a sort of a shaky start. Tom Drayton. Took an extra step, so Fenway again. Attacking this full court pressure. Here comes Tara, all the way to the bucket, up and under. It's going to be a player control foul on Tara, though.
You wonder if John Rice still likes that aggressive offensive action from Tara.
Definitely.
You know, I think he probably wants her to be a little more reserved.
You know, and she probably could be one of their leading scorers. I mean, she could be the leading scorer with her ability. So I think you're absolutely right. Coach Fresh would like to see her be more aggressive offensively. Like you said, she has those long strides, good quickness. Here she comes again.
Good swing for Fenway.
David
off the mark with that 3.
It's going to be a held ball. Looks like Gully, the freshman, got her hands in there to create a held ball. It'll stay with Fenway. Nice cut.
Wide open inside, Desire Thornton.
I'll tell you, it's one of those situations that it seems like one team was just more ready to start out because Fenway jumped out to a 7-0 lead.
Swing it over to Surratt Ashley. Her sister Kiara picks up the loose ball and gets fouled. She'll shoot 2 free throws.
You have to wonder, we talked about the 9th graders. You mentioned Ashley Surratt scoring double figures in the semifinal. When you're that young, you're probably feeling a little more pressure than normal to help your team get off to a good start. You see your big sister with the free throw line trying to get them on the board.
And that first free throw no good from Kiara. Kiara, a junior forward for New Mission. No good on the second free throw. Matea Young with the offensive rebound. It's going to be a jump ball.
Stay with New Mission. Nice steal by
Thornton. Away by Thornton, who she had.
Good trying to get the ball to Drayton, but Thornton's doing a good job defensively early on.
Yeah, she had Carter streaking down the floor, trying to feed it into Carter. Now it's Thornton going baseline. No good on the layup. Carter with the rebound, and she'll get 2 free throws.
Yeah, Mira Carter was yelling for the ball. She had a good post position in the block. Thornton just didn't have the angle, but what she did do was get away from a defender. Carter on the follow-up. Talk about Mira Carter and her size. Last couple of seasons, she's had some injury problems, both in the high school season and then during the BNBL season. With the last couple of summers, we've seen her sort of off and on.
That's right. Knocks down the second. Carter this year trying to pick up her scoring after the graduation of those 2 players that we mentioned.
Boy, Fenway has full control these first few minutes.
Thornton again looking inside. That's knocked out of bounds by Tanisha Drayton, but it'll stay with the Lady Panthers. Plenty of time left in the shot clock. That's Gully, the freshman, gets her shot deflected. Surratt comes up with the rebound.
Travel, it fell down.
Ashley Surratt all for traveling after falling from that rebound.
It's actually 2 plays that Gully, the full freshman forward, number 25, inbounding right now, kept possession for Fenway.
Thornton for 3, no good off the backboard. Carter with the rebound, back up top. Now it's Tarver trying for the 3, no good. Rebound comes down to David. Now it's Carter off the spin move, no good.
There comes Drayton.
Tanasia streaking down the floor for the bucket. First field goal for New Mission.
I'll probably get Tanasia going.
Carter trying to save it.
Nice save by Carter.
Thornton gets it
Good
to
job.
go.
You don't see big players like that with that kind of ability, but never give up on the play. The ball, the pass was a little over her head, but she chased it down and gave her teammate an easy layup.
So the Fenway Lady Panthers through the first 3 minutes of the 2017 City Championship on top of NewMission, 10-2, and it just seems like right now the Panthers are more ready to go.
Yeah, oh, definitely from the opening tap. I mean, I'm not sure why, but we'll see New Mission bounce back after this timeout.
Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly follow us on Facebook. Search for Game of the Week in Facebook for a lot of good stuff up there. Pictures, videos. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. If you want to tweet at our tweet the hashtag BostonGOW. Coming out of the timeout. New Mission will have the basketball here. 4:52 left to go in the first quarter. And right now the Titans just need to figure out how to generate some offense.
They've just got to loosen up a little bit. I mean, they've had some open shots. That one drive coast to coast by Drayton has been their only score so far.
Taya Young looking to force the action, poked away by Tarver. And Shania will slow it up for the Lady Panthers. Tarver now with a runner, and that's no good. Rebound comes down to Matea Young. Drayton, no good off the window. Green, no good on the putback. And Carter grabs another one for Fenway.
It's almost like the Mission girls are playing a step too fast. A lot of their shots are overshot.
Carter with the up and under layup.
Wow, everything's going right from Fenway so far.
Drayton trying to go coast to coast. Good offensive rebound. Jashari Green gets the basket and one.
In the right place at the right time for that one. Yeah, Drayton missed the drive, but offensive rebound. It's a good sign from New Mission to try to get themselves back in the game. You see Green finishing off that putback.
Rayla Gonzalez was the freshman who snuck in there for the offensive rebound.
And Jashari, another freshman from New Mission.
hits the free throw, cuts the Fenway lead down to 7 midway through the first quarter. Tarver. She had a lane for a minute, but she'll pull it back out for Fenway. Pass a little too high for Miara Carter. Here comes Drayton again. Drayton stops and pops. Nowhere near the rim on that three-pointer. Quickly down the Thornton goes Fenway, and she is not able to get the short jumper to go. Ashley Soretta is fouled by Miara Carter.
Carter again trying for an offensive rebound. That time a little too aggressive as rebound was already secured. Watch the rebound, middle of your screen, you'll see. Good job by Soretta to box out first.
Substitution for the Panthers.
Hey, going to their bench, you have Imani Terry coming in.
Yeah, along with Denasia DePina.
DePina is one of the co-captains, number 12. Now she'll be guarding Drayton. It's going to be a moving screen on New Mission. Say they've had a tough first quarter. Yeah, a lot of things go wrong. I mean, one of the strengths of the New Mission team is offensive rebounding, and they've gotten a few, but the 5 points has all come from the offensive rebounding.
Carter trying to feed it inside, but it's poked away by Drayton, and here comes New Mission again.
Double dribble there.
Yeah, Denasia. .304 left to go here in the first quarter. Lady Panthers on top 12-5 over New Mission. Tarver, another aggressive drive to the bucket.
I think you're right, John. You mentioned that Bryce wants to see her be more offensive. Any open floor that she sees, she's attacking. New Mission's going to have to figure out something better to control her. Going to be a travel violation again. Seems like this little zone that Fenway's throwing up in the half court. They're cutting off all the drives, except for that one time that Drayton made it all the way to the basket. Seeing 3 traveling violations. Just shout out John Rice, longtime head coach.
Yeah, John looking for his 18th Boston City League title on the girls' side. Of course, a longtime head coach at Jeremiah Burke. And has now won, I believe, 4 city titles with Fenway.
Well, he loves coaching, and that's he has a system that works. He plays defense first. Like you mentioned, he's had a few Division I players, college players, come through the program the last 3 years.
Good drive for Fenway. DePina gets fouled on her way.
We're just seeing a much more aggressive Fenway team offensively, man. Everything's driving to the basket. DePina just came in the game. Watch a hard drive to the baseline. Forced the defense to hack around the arm. Caught Ray Gonzalez, who was a little off balance on that one, to commit the foul. It's when you look at it, it almost seems like you have the contrast of an older team playing against a younger team, but in fact, they're both relatively young teams. It's just the Fenway, for whatever reason, just has come out much sharper here in the first quarter. That'll be a violation there.
Well, as we mentioned, both these teams played in the city semifinals yesterday, so they should be used to this atmosphere.
And of course, this is school vacation week, so you don't have the added pressure of going to school, going to class, and all that. So you have some relaxation time, and it just seems that Fenway, maybe they just had a better schedule. I don't know, but they started out well. But this New Mission team, we've seen them this year. They're a talented team.
And another turnover for New Mission, who just can't get out of their own way right now.
Again, that's another totally unforced turnover. Coaches always say those are the worst kind. Unforced turnovers. Those are the ones that give you gray hair or no hair. Sorry, Carter. That time she nice post.
Couldn't quite finish over the top, and now we have a foul.
Yeah, DePina's going to get called in the reaching. But if you're Fenway, you gotta like the fact that you got Carter, biggest player on the floor, doing a good job hustling down to the post, looking to be aggressive. Another timeout by New Mission.
So New Mission calls a timeout. 1:52 left to go here in the first quarter, and New Mission Titans trailing by 9. Meanwhile, you got Fenway, who's just totally in control right now.
And you know what the funny thing about it is? I mean, the Fenway girls, okay, look at the score. They're glad to be up by 9, but in their heads, they said we should be in the 20s by now.
That's right.
That's what they're used to because they run good defense, full court pressure. They love, like we said, everything's going to the basket. Everything's forcing the defense to either play or foul. So I think from Fenway's standpoint, they'll take the 9-point lead, but they really want to open it up more.
Yeah, if you're New Mission, I mean, you got to sort of count your blessings that you're just
first,
down
right.
by 9.
Yeah, we say put the finger in the dike. Right,
right. Exactly.
Because New Mission just, it's just like their young players are sort of playing like young players right now. And they're going to have to relax. Because Green right in front of us here, Jashari's a very good player.
Yeah,
with that, her length, she can get inside for offensive rebounds, and she can go to the basket.
Yeah, Jashari had 14 points yesterday in the city semifinals in there.
Yeah,
she just missed it.
That's the kind of play she usually makes.
Kiara Surratt also couldn't finish on the putback. And here comes Fenway again. David quickly up to DePina for 3, and Denasia couldn't knock that one down. Good rebound there by Gonzalez. And that one almost stolen away by Natalie David, but it'll stay with the Titans.
That's that quickness from Fenway playing the passing lanes.
Denasia Drayton coming back in here with 1:21 left to go in the first quarter.
So Drayton will come back after a short rest. She's going to go right back to play man-to-man on Drayton to try to keep Drayton out of the flow of the offense. That's what you were saying about Mitch Hercules. He told you that Drayton, number 4, has to be more aggressive offensively.
You see Surratt unable to get that runner to go. Tarver with the rebound for Fenway.
She goes
Tarver.
again.
Thornton for 3. That one around the rim and out. And that, I believe, will stay with Fenway.
So that's Gully again. That freshman just has a knack for getting to the ball. It's the 3rd held ball that she's created.
Gully now for 3, way off as Surratt comes away with the rebound.
Yeah, I think she
Shashari
felt like
Green.
she earned herself a shot. Less than a minute to go in the quarter.
Pull-up jumper for Ashley Surratt goes for the Lady Titans.
I think Mitch Hercules is going to breathe a sigh of relief on that one because finally he got his high-scoring freshman to get going.
Good swing for Fenway. David for 3 off the back iron. 22 seconds left in the quarter. Matea Young,
Nice
good off the
finish.
window.
She was able to split 2 defenders and somehow, like you said, banked it home.
Back to a 5-point game with 10 seconds left in the quarter. Tarver again. That time she was short with the runner. And we got another jump ball that'll go back to New Mission with 4.1 left in the opening frame.
I do like the way Tarver's playing though. Her aggressiveness to the basket. It's going to pay dividends the rest of this game. Yeah, the clock started too early. It hadn't been touched, so they're either going to go back to the 4.1 on the clock or they'll give them the ball on the sideline in front of us. They're going to go back to 4 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of players do that at the end of a
A smart play.
Period.
If defense is not on you,
right,
try to get yourself as far up the court as possible before you pick it up to make a live play.
I remember Rajon Rondo used to do that for the
Love
Celtics
doing it.
almost randomly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a little too close for comfort.
Used to drive Doc Rivers crazy.
One of many things that Rajon did to
Right.
drive Doc Rivers crazy.
Yeah.
Ashley Surratt with the basketball, but she lost it.
A little too anxious. She actually did a good job to actually steal that away from Tarver, who looked like she had the ball, but then got a little over anxious to try to get a move to the basket.
And that'll do it after one here at Madison Park High. Fenway on top of New Mission, 14-9 here at the 2017 Girls City Championship. Shania Tarver forcing the action for the Lady Panthers.
Green hat. Red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for the 2017 Girls BPS Basketball City Championship. Right now, the Fenway Panthers lead the New Mission Titans 14-9, and our sideline reporter Seth Orensky has an update for us. Seth, what's happening?
New Mission able to close that quarter on a 4-0 run despite not having Tanasia Drayton for the last minute 30 of that 3-minute span. She went to the sideline, took off the tape that was taped around both ankles, put on new shoes, tied them up even tighter, and got back out there. A really good sign for New Mission, able to at least play extremely well defensively without their top player. Guys?
Yeah, thanks very much, Seth. That's the one player that New Mission really can't lose. You're talking about a senior and a point guard. She's got to be out there for the Titans.
And capable of being a big-time scorer. I mean, I know she's had some ankle issues the past couple of seasons, so today, I guess whatever tape job she had might have made her just feel uncomfortable. But we hadn't really seen. She had that one coast-to-coast drive where she scored their first hoop of the game, but we'll need some. New Mission needs some more of that from her. But you're right. You made the point before the end of the quarter. New Mission's got to be happy to just be down 5. They've had so many unforced turnovers, missed shots. They got some bad luck for shots also. And Fenway will start out the second quarter with the ball.
Thornton feeds it inside to Carter. Nice drop step
Good
from
job.
Carter, who scores off the window.
She has a size advantage anyway, but if she's going to be able to use a drop step like that, defense won't be anywhere near her. Good job by Tarver to come up and double team on Drayton. See, Drayton's going to have to start attacking from the wings because when she's up top, she has Thornton glued to her, and then if she does get a step on Thornton, the second player for Fenway is stepping up to double team.
Surratt for 3, way off for New Mission.
Yeah, so it's a little over anxious.
And then Fenway turns it over as David trying to get it to Tarver.
Yeah, Tarver didn't expect that. Although I'm sure Coach Rice will tell Tarver, you expect the ball all the time because we want you to have it and go. Yeah, see, you see New Mission trying to figure out this defense. It's like a boxer one, basically, with Thornton playing on Drayton and the other 4 ready to help defensively.
Great hustle there by Matea Young, who gets the tap in.
It all started with Drayton finally getting penetration past the foul line. And here comes your girl. So I missed that one, but I just like the way she's being so aggressive.
And David almost coming up with the steal, but that'll stay with New Mission.
New Mission defensively has got to figure out something for Tava. She's just raring to go, and any open, and I'm sure she's being told, any open floor you take advantage of. See, again, you have 3 of the Fenway players playing the zone inside the foul line. Nice pass.
Beautiful lay down from Young to Surratt for the basket and the foul.
Young really made it look like she was going to force a shot, but she saw her cutting teammate, the basket and the foul. But watch Young. She makes this little curl move. Looks like she's going to force the shot, but nice pass inside. You might see Fenway just go to a straight man-to-man because you can do that and still double team on Drayton to keep her out of the lane. Green, good job. That's the offensive rebound I was talking about before that was missing in the first quarter. You talked about Green, the freshman, being the high scorer in the semifinal. This is what she's capable of.
So now Green will shoot 2 free throws for the Lady Titans.
Green's mother's been a long-time official in the city. Matter of fact, if she wasn't playing, her mother probably would have been officiating the game.
Right? Substitution for the Fenway Panthers as
Gully goes. David goes out.
Asia Sullivan now in for Fenway as Green knocks down both free throws. We get a 1-point ball game. There were just 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Another turnover by Fenway. Young inside to Surratt. Actually gets fouled again.
So now we're seeing the aggressive play swing to the New Mission side. You see it again inside. Everything's now going to the back. I think Mitch Hercules said, listen, we've got to challenge them by making them defend us. We'll stop shooting all these outside shots and force ourselves to the rim. They come all the way back to tie the score. They were down 9, so what's this, 11-2 run?
Shania Tarver getting a breather for Lady Panthers. As Ashley Surratt will look to break the tie with the second free throw. And she does. So New Mission with their first lead of the game.
Well, there's the improved free throw shooting that Mitch was asking for from this team. Oh, wide open.
Carter inside. And that'll stay with the Lady Panthers. Sullivan wide open inside. Now back up to Gully. Thornton for an open 3. And Young comes away with the rebound for New Mission. Matea showing off the speed. Is able to get that one to go.
Had Drayton under the basket, but decided to just take it and keep it himself. Another steal.
And that one poked away by Fenway. And now we got a foul on Tanasia Drayton.
That's too bad because she played good defense, just lost her footing and created the contact and the foul. Yeah, she had the peanuts pretty much trapped in the backcourt.
Here comes Gully trying to go coast to coast, lost it on the way inside the paint. Here comes Young with another layup for New Mission.
So Matea has come a long way. She really has since her freshman year. She's far more under control.
Phenomenal run here from New Mission. They now have a 5-point lead with the Fenway Lady Panthers. 5:05 left to go in the second quarter. As bad as New Mission played in the first quarter, they're playing that well here in the second.
It's almost like you flipped the coin. I mean, you're talking about a 16-2 run.
Taya Young right now with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple steals for New Mission. You mentioned the improvement by her. I mean, before when she was a freshman, she was athletic. She could get up and down.
Go back to middle school, Pat. Remember we had her in the middle school championship game, and she missed so many of those similar layups.
Those bunnies, right.
She was crying during the game because she knew that they ended up losing the game, losing the championship. And I still remember her crying during the game because she was missing so many easy layups. Now it's under control. She's a junior now, and she's been playing a lot of minutes ever since she was a freshman. So now as a junior, she's considered one of the quote-unquote veteran players.
That's right.
She's showing it today. She's turned 3 steals into baskets for the mission.
So Matea Young and the Lady Titans now on top of Fenway 21-16 here with 5:05 left to go in the second quarter. And right now Fenway's got to figure out just how to get the ball into their offensive side of the zone.
Well, they brought Chava right back in. And she sat down for a minute, but now she's back. I'm sure the ball is back right now. The ball will be in her hands.
Carter. No good on the hook shot, and it's Surratt going after the rebound. Another foul on Fenway.
I think DePina's going to be foul called on that one. It's going to be bonus. Should be bonus.
That's her second personal foul. Team 7. We're in the 1-and-1 bonus.
So Surratt at the free throw line now shooting 1-and-1 for the New Mission Lady Titans. No good on the first. Rebound comes down to Sullivan. Look inside to Sullivan.
Good idea. I'd say DePina stopped. Hard drive and then tried to find Sullivan under the basket. Sullivan just wasn't looking for it. We talked about the rebounding in the first quarter. It wasn't happening for New Mission, but right now 15-6 is the advantage. Wow. What's that? You gonna call it a half hook?
Whatever you want to call it, Matea Young is taking over right now for the Lady Titans. Fenway trying to stop the bleeding, and once again, they can't get a clean look at the basket. Here comes Drayton trying to go coast to coast. And good rebound inside from Miara Carter. And Carter now bringing it up for Fenway.
Yeah, lost a little control as she was trying to make a pass to Sullivan. This turnaround's been amazing. I mean, not only has Fenway been stuck on 16 for the last 4 minutes, they had 14 points after the first quarter.
Now it's Surratt stepping into a long 2. Young saving it for New Mission. Matea Young. That time she couldn't get it to go, and the rebound comes down to Sullivan. Thornton steps in for the jumper and gets fouled by Drayton.
You can hear Mitchell Hercule yelling out, "You're not a shot blocker." I think that's Drayton's second foul, and Mitch did not want to see that second foul on her.
Thornton no good on the first. Substitution for Fenway. As you got Gully coming back in.
Yeah, John's going deep into his bench now, trying to get some
right, Imani Terry.
Yeah, some fresh legs out there.
In for Fenway. Thornton no good on the second. Gully with the rebound, blocked by Young.
I tell you, he's doing a little of everything, right?
He's having a heck of a second quarter.
Not just scoring, assists, rebounds, defense.
Green with the step back 3. And Gully with another rebound for Fenway. Deflected out of bounds, and that'll stay with the Lady Panthers. Substitution for New Mission. Gonzalez coming back in. Drayton going to head to the bench with 2 fouls. You wonder how long Coach Hercules is going to keep her up.
Well, if they can maintain this lead, she'll probably shut out the rest of the half. Because he definitely wants her to be aggressive in the second half.
Tarver losing it to Green, who tries to look up Florida Gonzalez. She can't get the layup to go, and that will stay with New Mission.
It's amazing. I don't know what Mitch said in the timeouts between quarters, but this New Mission team,
they look just like a totally different team.
I was just going to say, it's amazing. I mean, there's the first half they were taking bad shots. They were missing easy shots. Now they're taking much better shots.
Green for 3, way off the mark, and David comes down with the rebound for Fenway.
Nice
Inside
pass. Wow.
to Chaplin, who was unable to finish.
Well, Casalda had a layup attempt. It's going to be a foul from behind on Thornton.
Yeah, Deja Thornton trying for the reach-in.
It's interesting, thinking about this matchup. I thought that one of the keys was going to be Thornton, number 3 for Fenway, against Jones Drayton. But it hasn't really turned out that way because Drayton has not really been that aggressive offensively. So Thornton's been able to play straight man. Like I said, for a while they were in a box and one with her just staying on Drayton the whole time. But from Fenway's standpoint, they have realized that Tanasia can explode at any point. Surprisingly, she hasn't really scored that much in this big run by New Mission.
Yeah, Drayton with just 2 points so far here in the first half.
That was the first hoop they had in the game. She went coast to coast.
And goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line, another place where she struggled this season.
Nice steal.
And a steal by
Nice
Gonzalez.
steal.
Here comes Drayton out on the break. And once again wasn't able to get that to go.
Time. Yeah, Imani Terry, 9th grader, went against the senior Drayton, did a good job to change that shot and let her Fenway teammates get the rebound.
1:53 left to go here in the second quarter. New Mission on top of Fenway, 23-16 in the girls' Boston City Championship. Surrett trying to squeeze it inside. Good defense there by Gully. Young again, this time with a runner, couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Young there to put it back up and in.
Good job again, Surrett with that offensive rebound and the assist to Matea Young. Nice job by Thornton.
With a nice move.
Nice job. Good job. Fake the baseline, got to the middle to get that sort of 5-foot jumper. 7-point game. Has to feel like the Mission's ahead by more because they've controlled the second quarter so much.
That's right.
Strong play by Young, drawing the foul on Gully. I think for the second half for John Rice, number 25, Gully, the freshman, is going to have to give a little more. So that falls on Terry actually outside, but we saw Gully earlier in the season as a freshman. Right. She was a terrific player on both ends, and I think for second half, that's going to be one of the messages at halftime from John Rice.
Substitution for New Mission as Jayla Gonzalez comes in. So both Gonzalez twins now in for the Lady Titans.
Okay, now Tava comes back in for the last minute of the half. Now we saw New Mission get back-to-back hoops to end the first quarter. That's exactly what Fenway wants to try to do here to end the half.
Being guarded by Kiara Surrett. Tarver trying to force the action, unable to hit that jumper. Young with another rebound for New Mission. 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Young again on the strong drive, can't squeeze it home. Surrett there for the putback.
Offensive
Kiara
rebounding.
Surrett.
Offensive rebounding. That's what was missing in the first quarter for New Mission. Second quarter, that has them controlling the game. Going to be a foul on Surrett. But she took a a hit to the nose, but they should be shooting for Fenway. It's going to be Thornton. Well, we had a 9-point lead by Fenway in the first quarter. Now we have a 9-point lead by New Mission here right before halftime.
Thornton now back at the free throw line for the Lady Panthers. And she's not able to hit the first. Inside to Kiara Surratt. That time she couldn't get it to go. Here comes Tarver with 20 seconds left before halftime. She gets
two
fouled.
free throws, double bonus.
So Jayla Gonzalez whistle for the foul. Tarver
No, that's the
shooting 1 and 1.
It'll be double now because that's. No, I'm sorry. You're right. It's 1 and 1. Yep. Went the wrong side there.
Shania no good at the first. Fenway having a tough time at the
Those
strike.
are killers because you have a chance to score with the clock stopped and you miss the front ends of 2 1-and-1s to end the half.
New Mission looking to make it a double-digit lead before halftime. 5 seconds left in the quarter. It's Drayton gonna have to fire one up. And that is gonna do it for the first half here at the 2017 Girls BPS City Basketball Championship. The New Mission Lady Titans lead the Fenway Lady Panthers 27-18. And my goodness,
You talk
that
about a
first
turnaround,
quarter, it looked like Fenway was going to breeze to a victory, but then after that, New Mission flipped it on them.
Well, and again, we talked about it because New Mission, even though they were down 9, and we made the point there, even though it was a 14-5 game at that point, I know Fenway felt like they should be up by a lot more.
Right.
And we saw how it turned around the second quarter. They scored 4 points the entire second quarter.
That's right.
So they've got to figure something out. I mean, they're trying to be aggressive, but more importantly, the New Mission team get far more aggressive defensively, and with Matea Young just on offense just took over. Little jump shots, little drives to the basket, and some steals defensively.
Without question, Matea Young doing a little bit of everything for the New Mission Lady Titans, and her coach, Mitchell Hercules, is with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by New Mission head coach Mitchell Hercules. Coach, the first time they held you to 32 points and they blew you away towards the end, earning that 39-32 win. Today, 27 points at halftime. You held them to 4 in that second quarter. How happy are you with your defense, especially in the second where you were able to lock them down and Coach Rice went a lot deeper into his bench than we're used to seeing?
We can't do anything without our defense. We get a lot of transition buckets off of our defense. They're sitting in that zone with those two bigs, so we got to speed this game up, make it a transition game, junk it up like we try to do, run. We're doing a better job on the glass than we normally do. We're putting a body on people, playing hard, making the little key mistakes. We could have opened this up, but, I know they're a great team. They're going to make some adjustments in the second half. Last game, it was kind of the same. Their first quarter, our second quarter, middle third quarter, then they finished us off. So hopefully we can have a really good third and fourth quarter and try to hold on to this lead.
Speaking of running in transition, Matea Young has been a beast getting to the hoop, not always finishing, but creating second chance opportunities. How important is her play?
She's a wild card. If she plays well, especially defensively, she's our catalyst. She's our hard worker. She's our go-getter. She does everything that I ask for defensively. Offensively, she takes some questionable shots here and there. Some of them fall, some of them don't. But with the effort, I say, you know what? Go ahead and take a couple of those shots. You deserved it. You earned it. But she's doing a great job. Hopefully, she can keep her composure, stay out of foul trouble.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. New Mission with their largest lead of the game, up by 9, heading into the break.
Thanks very much, Seth, and certainly Coach Hercules mentioning that Matea Young doesn't always take the most conventional shots, but he's got to be happy with what she did there in the second quarter.
The steals that led to layups. And like you said, her defense really was a catalyst because Fenway stayed in that zone in the half court. When Fenway had offense, New Mission for some reason just got more aggressive. Right. Led by Young. She got some steals at half court, finished off. She was able to make some strong drives to the basket, a couple of assists. And it just shows you how one player and somewhat unexpectedly to take over a quarter in high school basketball.
Well, they certainly needed it as New Mission leads Fenway here at the half. Now, we've mentioned during the football season and also earlier on this season when we covered the New Mission girls basketball team that they had lost one of their players from last season, Ariel Shingle. She passed away over the summer, and we were able to speak to some of the players from New Mission High about what it was like to lose her and how difficult it's been. So we're going to take a look at that right now.
Like the summer of my 7th grade year, BMBL basketball, me and a couple other people played on me, her, and a couple other people played on the same team. And then ever since then, I didn't know I was gonna play high school basketball with her. We clicked right away.
She lived right around the corner, so we used to go to the same basketball court. And I used to go to her basketball court at her house. We used to play against each other.
I met her last year actually when I first came to try out, and I was really nervous. And she was like one of the people that would like really encourage me to not be scared.
Freshman year, we got together and we was in every class together. And I remember in biology, like we got in trouble because we was all like making noises while the teacher was talking, and he asked us to stop. But it was kind of funny, like making everybody laugh.
Whenever she laughed, you could tell it was Ariel. Turn around and just see Ariel just laughing, just dying on the floor. Like she brought positive, good vibes to the school.
She's always in school, always on her phone. If you see her in the hallway, of course she's gonna be on her phone. She's always saying hi to people.
That's all she did. Eat, play, sleep, basketball. She just said it's her life. Like, that's all she does.
She always listened, paid attention, followed directions.
I loved it when I saw her play, because like she had that fury in her, like she had that competitiveness in her. I just made her want to like go harder, so it was great seeing her play.
She played her heart out every game, and if it wasn't for her, we would have never made it to the Garden last year. She just always kept us together. Like, she's really humble.
I didn't know she was sick until the day of when they said she was in hospital. I guess they was out of town, so her sister told us that she was sick.
Her sister had called me like, oh, just pray for Ariel, and then she just hung up the phone. So I was like really scared, like, because I know she had diabetes, so I'm like wondering like what was wrong with her. I kept calling back, she wasn't answering.
Throughout the whole day, we was just talking, the whole team was just talking to each other, checking up on each other. I was real shocked, I wasn't expecting it.
Well, I got a phone call from someone and they asked me, they said, oh, is it true that Ariel passed away? And then like I hung up on them, like I was mad, like why would you ask me that? And then my phone started blowing up. Like people started calling me, and I wasn't touching my phone at all. Like I was in shock. I didn't want to believe it, and it was like, it really hurt me. Like that was the worst feeling I ever felt in life.
We couldn't really talk about it because we was just so in shock. We didn't expect that to happen. Nobody did, of course.
I couldn't believe it. Like I got the message, I'm like, this is crazy. I remember that night I ended up crying myself to sleep because that's really unbelievable.
It was like down. The mission is like never gonna be the same, especially with Ariel gone.
Like the first couple weeks was weird because you're so used to seeing Ariel there, just having fun, and then the whole school was down. You could tell the whole school was affected by it.
We had a memorial here for her, and it was when the whole team came in, and it was just like a way to remember her.
We had a little memorial for her over the summer here in school, and we had a big poster for her in front of the school.
We have pictures of her in the hallway, like her own Hall of Fame. So that's what we have to like remember her.
There's a wall for her that says Riri's World, and there's pictures of her all over the place. And then our jerseys actually have her initials on it.
And as time goes by and I see it, I'm like, wow, she's really gonna be remembered. Like nobody's ever gonna forget her because she's a big part of the mission.
Walking past it is just like, dang, like my friend is really gone. I miss her like a lot. And just knowing that she's gone every day just sucks because she was like my closest friend. And although like she's not here, like I know she's here.
She'll always live in our hearts on the basketball court and off the basketball court. Even though she's not physically with us, she's here with us mentally. So she's never gonna be gone.
they have a lot of great memories of Ariel Shingles, and I certainly want to thank the 4 girls that were able to sit down and talk to us about Ariel. Certainly very difficult for those girls, especially Matea Young, who's actually was one of Ariel's best friends at New Mission.
Right.
So
yeah.
a lot of nice things that they said. Very difficult time for New Mission, who also lost another student in a car accident in the fall. So a lot of tragedy over New Mission back in the summer. But, you know, whenever you have a high school like New Mission, who's very good at athletics, that often brings the whole school's community together. So when you see the basketball teams, the football teams doing well, that's what you see.
As a matter of fact, when you'll notice there's an AS on the New Mission front of the jersey. When some of them are shooting foul shots, we have that baseline shot, you can probably see it.
Right.
That's what the AS is for.
That's right. Ariel Shingles passed away way too young, but these New Mission Lady Titans are certainly playing for her here tonight. Let's take a look at the halftime stats here for Madison Park High. And first up, it's the Fenway Panthers, who started off well, but then sort of
I was just going to say the same thing. I was going to say most of these stats from the first quarter.
Right.
They only scored 4 points in the second quarter, so you see Tarver started out well with 7. Thornton, her backcourt teammate, with 6. Rebounding, Gully does have 6 rebounds, but we're expecting more offense from her in the second half. You have Carter with 3 rebounds and then assists. David with 2.
Now let's take a look at New Mission's halftime stats.
Mission, that's mostly all second quarter. There's Matea Young up top. We talked about her big 12 points. Surrett added 6. Matea Young with 6 rebounds. Ariel Surrett with 4 rebounds and assists, 1 for each, Drayton and Young. So it's a tale of 2 quarters. That's the best way you can describe this game. It's just a matter of what's going to happen in the third and the fourth quarter, because they've each sort of had their way in the first and second. So 9-point game. Fenway got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, New Mission certainly has this lead because of Matea Young. Let's take a look at some highlights of her from the first half.
This is her going strong to the basket. Under control, that's the key. You see a nice follow-up that time. Somebody surprised herself. Little finger roll. And that's 4 hoops all in the second quarter for Matea Young. That one's like we said, like a half hook, half fadeaway shot. She's just doing a little bit of everything.
Matea Young with a 12-point first half is why New Mission has this 9-point lead. And our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky's got an update for us. Seth, what's happening on your end?
Thanks, guys. Quick note on the Fenway side. Before the game, head coach John Rice said that it was all about mental toughness. His team needed to not want to be stars, to not focus on the glamour, focus on the team game. He pulled Miara Carter and Shania Tarver late in that second quarter because both of them were trying to be a bit too selfish with the ball. We'll see if those players are a little bit more effective making the extra pass here in the second half.
Thanks very much, Seth, as we are just about ready to start the third quarter here at Madison Park at the Girls 2017 City Championship. Fenway trailing by 9, and Natalie David gets it out to Thornton. They get it inside to Carter. Now back up to Tarver. Tarver with a runner, no good. And the rebound comes down to Kiara Surrett.
Like a 1-3-1 zone for Fenway now.
Nice move to the rim there from Surrett, and then Green gets bumped by her own teammate. That'll go back to Fenway.
Fell down for a traveling violation. A little different look defensively that time, 1-3-1. They're hoping again to take away those drives to the basket by Matea Young.
Another turnover for Fenway as they continue to pile up. But they turn it right back over as here comes Thornton. Back down the other end. Blocked by Surrett. Carter saves it for Fenway. Miara. She had nowhere to go with it as Matea Young quickly up
pass.
to Drayton for the easy bucket.
Matea was in the air, but put enough on it to lead her teammate right to the backboard. Tell you, that might get Drayton going offensively. To score an easy one like that.
Double-digit lead now for New Mission as they are on top by 11. Tarver, who was very assertive in the first quarter, hasn't been able to get anything going since. Surrett falling down, and her sister's there to pick it up. Kiara Surrett with the putback for New Mission.
But we're just not seeing the Fenway girls get to the backboard.
Fenway takes a timeout here, 6:20 left to go in the third quarter, and the Lady Panthers got to look for some kind of spark here.
Well, I think that they're just playing, they're a little out of character. I mean, believe me, they've noticed the fact that this place is really starting to fill up. Okay, so you got a huge crowd, probably the biggest crowd they've played in front of all season. They had that decent first quarter where they had a 9-point lead. You see some real long faces on coaching staff for Fenway. But John just wants them to calm down because he knows the biggest message for them is we got to defend first. We got to get some stops so we can turn it into some easy offense. Stop trying to force things. And I think that's we saw that the last time with Carter. We sort of shut off at the baseline, but just try to throw up a shot that just had no chance.
Fenway clearly with the size advantage, so I'm sure they want to sort of pound it inside, try to keep going inside because they know they'll eventually get some easy chances.
You got them under control, and that's what they've, since the second quarter, they've just been out of control.
New Mission currently on a 26-4 run. And this 13-point lead ensued because of it. Natalie David inside.
Yeah,
Carter
nice
gets fouled.
Yeah. That was a set play as Carter's going to dive to the hoop from the weak side. David did a good job of being able to penetrate past the foul line. Once she's past the foul line, there's Carter with the cut.
So Carter now back at the free throw line. Fenway had a tough time at the stripe in the first half. And she is no good on the second, so Fenway currently 3 for 8 from the free throw line. Not what you're looking for.
And of the two, New Mission was far more worried about their free throws.
And Matea Young, another nice play by her to save it. And let it go back to New Mission.
That's a warning to Coach Rice. Leaving the coaching box.
Head coach John Rice getting a warning that he was outside of the coaching box. Ashley Surratt stepping in for the jumper off the back iron. Matea Young looking to chase it down for New Mission, but that'll go back to the Fenway Panthers.
Interesting because Mitch Hickley, the coach of New Mission, said that Matea Young is their catalyst defensively. You can definitely see how.
Gully looking inside for Thornton. Nice pass to Carter,
Good
who gets the basket and the foul. That could be the spark that the Panthers are looking for.
It's almost like the second pass leads to an open shot for Fenway. A nice pass by Thornton.
Fenway with just 3 assists so far in the game. So
it's a good indication of, like Seth was saying, Coach Rice talked about selfish play. A lot of one-on-one.
That basket goes for Carter, and she will also get one more because of the lane violation.
No, hoop was good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't think so either.
Right.
It looked like they were signaling for another free throw.
Yeah, it was a violation on New Mission, but when the ball goes in, the violation gets erased.
So back to a 10-point game here, 5.5 left to go in the third, and Natalie David is whistle for the reach it.
That was a good double team right in front of us, but had a quick. Oh, David, that's key for Fenway because David's one of their main ball handlers. Now she has 4 fouls.
And Young trying to squeeze it inside, and it was knocked out of bounds by Fenway.
Yeah, 10-point game. We have 5:20 to go in the third quarter.
Yara Surratt with her shot blocked by Tarver. And that goes out of bounds off of New Mission. So Fenway The chance to get it back down to single digits on this possession.
That's what I was talking about, Pat. You got to start in the defensive end. Tarver came out, closed out well, used those long arms to get a deflection off that shot.
Gully inside to Carter. Nice move to the rim. And she will head back to the charity stripe.
That's what you're calling for, Pat. You get the size advantage. Carter, she has to hustle to get down to the block, get herself in position to just go straight up, because ideally, you really don't want to have her bounce the ball at all, but maybe one dribble to get clear to the backboard. That's all for now if you don't make the free throws. There you go.
Carter makes the first. She's made her last 2 now from the free throw line.
Real seesaw in this game so far.
Carter no good on the second. Matea Young rips down the rebound.
So you see New Mission trying to figure out this 1-3-1 zone.
Tanasia Drayton just can't get anything to fall for, as Thornton back down the other end scores the layup for Fenway. Back to a 7-point lead for New Mission. Here come the Fenway Lady Panthers with 4.5 to go in the third.
We knew there was going to be some changes from halftime. That's exactly what we're seeing. Mitch Hercule wants to take a timeout. Nice play by Thornton to stay away from the possible offensive foul.
See if Fenway can continue this quick run.
See it again.
Here in the third quarter.
You see Surratt was trying to set herself up for a foul, but nice soft floater.
See Coach Rice drawing up a couple plays and talking to his team. As we mentioned, John looking for his 18th Boston City Championship title. And the New Mission Titans have been one of his nemesis over the years.
Well, them and a lot of other people.
Yeah. Well, we've been coaching as long as John.
Right.
You pick up a couple of rivals along
enemies,
the way.
right? Rivalry enemies.
Yeah, that's right.
If you ask him, certain times he'll say enemy, other time he'll say rival.
That's right. Well, anytime you ask him about New Mission, he says, I wish we could play them all the time because of the way that they make Fenway work, and both teams sort of bring the best out of each other when they play against each other.
That's why we're seeing such wide swings.
Surratt from the elbow. Can't get that one to fall. Green
hit
in
the
there
top
for the rebound,
wires out of
but
bounds.
it did go out of bounds, right.
Hit the support wire.
Fenway currently riding a 6-0 run as David
Nice
inside
pass.
to Carter.
Nice pass. Tell you, Natalie is making the most of her time because she knows she has 4 fouls, but she also knows her penetration inside the foul line is going to open up Miera Carter for layups. That's an 8-0 run now for Fenway.
Here comes Surratt. Ashley
Block.
gets her shot blocked by Carter.
So now we're seeing New Mission do some things that Fenway was doing in the second quarter. That's a travel there. Yeah. Not sure what the guards are.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see coaches tell point guards to go get the ball.
Right. Yell for it, go get it. Right. Look at an 8-0 run going. Could have made it 10.
Good drive by Kiara Surratt, who rattles that one home. 7-point lead for the Titans. David, no good on the jumper. Taya Young trapped over in the corner, almost a turnover. And now it's Jashari Green. Drayton going to the rim. How did she get that one to go?
Up and under.
Drayton.
Gully, like you said, had good position, good defense, but Drayton was able to finish.
Thornton again with a nice lay down to Carter. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, the weak side defense for New Mission is just not finding Carter in time. Steal by Fenway. Gully.
Gully inside to Carter off the spin move.
Still a 7-point game. We are seeing some life out of Fenway, though, this third quarter.
Taya Young with the runner. And that's swiped away by Tarver.
There's a speed.
Tarver trying to go the length of the floor. She gets it to go. Back to a 5-point lead for New Mission. Green inside to Gonzalez. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
I'll tell you, this 1-3-1's made a big difference defensively for Fenway.
Green made a nice move but couldn't get it to go. Young with another runner. That one doesn't fall for her. Tarver again forcing the action down to Thornton, back to Carter. Great ball movement from the Lady Panthers.
I'll tell you, they are, Carter's rearing that left side out. The key thing is she's a big player, but she's running the floor. A lot of times big players just don't have all the energy to do that. That's going to be a reach in. Looks like Drayton may have rolled one of those ankles.
She got fouled and then came down awkwardly. See if we can see it here.
Oh, yes. It says she rolled. Yep. Looks like that left ankle.
Trying to walk it off.
It's going to be a common foul, so there's no free throws. Oh, I'm sorry, they're calling it a shooting foul. Okay, so we'll have 2 free throws.
Tanisha will have 2 free throws. She tries to shake off that ankle injury. Because she's got braces on both ankles.
Well, like Seth said in the first half, she actually had the ankles taped.
She's short on that free throw.
Took the tape off and, like you said, kept the supports on. But
substitution for Fenway as Denasia Tapina comes back in. Meanwhile, New Mission Lady Titans 5 for 16 from the free throw line. And now 6 for 17. Tenasia's got to come out. Shari Green back in for New Mission as Drayton's got to get looked at. Tapina short on the 3. Carter goes after the rebound, but that'll go back to New Mission.
Yeah, we had Carter and Sullivan actually fighting each other for the ball, which is good. I mean, from the Fenway standpoint, you want everyone going after every rebound.
Today's Drayton coming back in. Doesn't look like that ankle's improved very much, but
well,
Drayton's
I think it's one of those things where it feels bad at first, but you don't want to sit down and give it a chance to swell.
Drayton with a deep 3, banks it home for New Mission. She called that one? I'm not sure.
I don't know. She didn't really say much.
7-point lead. Tarver looking to answer, and she does. Big time 3 from Shania Tarver.
Oh, wow. David just fouled out. That's it.
That is not something Fenway can absorb.
Well, you got to go. Yeah, John Rice has kind of figured this one out. Actually, well, they put Thornton back in. Thornton was on the bench, so she'll come back in.
David's going to have to take a seat. When she was in there, she played really well for Fenway.
Oh, definitely.
Laying down a lot of nice passes to
Carter. She got this comeback going.
That's right. Beautiful pass inside, but Surratt couldn't finish. Going after the loose ball, here comes Tarver. Tarver had a couple of teammates up the floor.
Gonna be a foul on Young. Tarver's feeling really good after she drained that long three from the top of the key. And before that, she made a driving layup. So her 5 straight points keep it at a 4-point game.
And that's poked away by Surratt, but it'll stay with Fenway here. 20 seconds left in the quarter, 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Gotta watch out for Carter. Here she goes.
Yara that time couldn't squeeze it home. Sullivan gets it poked away. Here comes Ashley Surratt. Before the buzzer, can't get it to go. Drayton on the putback. And again, she's fouled. 5 seconds left at the end of the third.
This is Drayton. And they're fighting for the ball, and Sullivan got a piece of the arm. We talked about Drayton coming alive on offense in the second half. And so far, she has 8 out of her 10 points here in the third quarter.
She'd have a lot more if she was a little bit better at the free throw line, but that's been her whole team.
That's been the problem for New Mission.
1 out of 2 from the line is Drayton. And I believe that's 1,000 points for Tanasia Drayton. Both these programs have had a lot of players come through and reach that mark. Add Tanasia Drayton to the list. She's been a starting player for New Mission since her freshman year. Been a distributor and a scorer really for New Mission the past couple of seasons.
And we've seen, you're right, we've seen her play both roles very well. But we've seen her in state tournament games. We've seen her obviously here in the city championship.
And that's going to do it. At the end of 3 here at Madison Park High at the 2017 Girls City Championship. The New Mission Titans on top of the Fenway Lady Panthers, 40-35, but Fenway still hanging around.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for the 2017 BPS Girls City Championship. We're at the start of the third quarter with New Mission trying to hang on to a 5-point lead as they start the fourth. Tanasia Drayton fresh off scoring her 1,000th point, and she is once again fouled on her way to the rim.
I guess the ankle's okay because she's made a couple of really strong drives to the basket. Watch her here, tricky dribble. Steps up and under. Sullivan actually reached in for the foul. Talked about the free throw shooting. And, okay, 5 team fouls for Fenway and 4 for New Mission. So clearly, both teams are going to get to the bonus here in the fourth quarter. It'll be a matter of making them or missing them.
Drayton 2 for 2 from the free throw line, so back to a 7-point lead for the Titans. And now it's Tarver getting fouled inside the paint.
Yeah, Tarver's going to get 2 free throws.
third, team's fifth. Shania Tarver to shoot 2.
We talked about Tara before the game. We talked about how key she is in terms of both the defensive side of the ball, but in this game, I think more importantly on offense. I mean, her aggressiveness has helped to get her team back in this game after they were down 9 at halftime.
And Tarver is 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, back to a 5-point lead. And you mentioned Tarver offensively. Now with Natalie David on the bench, she's got to be the one that handles the ball a lot too for Fenway. Good hustle there from Carter. Now here comes Tarver, bringing it up for the Lady Titans. Tarver firing up a 3, and Sullivan couldn't hang on to the offensive rebound. And now we got a steal on Fenway, but that's going to be a foul on the Lady Titans. And I believe that foul is on Miara Carter. Excuse me, they call it on Desire Thornton.
So this is the key matchup right here. Thornton defensively on Drayton for the rest of this quarter to see.
Shari Green with the step-through move, which is no good. Gully with the rebound for Fenway. Gully now on the drive, and Janea gets the basket and the foul.
The foul's going to be on Green.
Just going to say, Gully, we saw her play very well offensively. She's been kind of quiet in this game.
Very quiet. Surprisingly quiet. That's her first hoop of the game. Chance for a 3-point play.
So Janea Gully completes the 3-point play for Fenway. Young down the other end, and I believe they're going to call a blocking foul on Shania Tarver.
That's play control foul.
Oh no, it was an offensive foul on Mateo Young.
Tarver sort of planted herself.
And now a foul here at half court by Ashley Surratt. That was a freshman mistake there.
Definitely, because it's bonus. So that's going to put Fenway at the free throw line.
So Gully back at the charity stripe for a freshman. She's been a pretty good free throw shooter so far this season. Fenway currently 8 for 15 from the line. And Gully no good on the first. Carter with the rebound. Tarver with the runner. Wow. Off the window, count it, and one.
Well, I'll tell you, Tarver has really come alive here in the second half. She started out the game well. She had 7 points in the first quarter. That time she got undercut, but she was able to bank it home.
Tarver falls hard to the floor. Unable to hit the free throw. We're still locked up at 42.
Well, you said back and forth. It's like those 9-point leads for each team were like mirages. That's going to be a double dribble there.
That looks like a carry on Kiara Surratt. 6:16 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Tied up at 42, and now they're going to talk about it. I think one ref saw that Surratt got the ball sort of poked away. And it's going to stay with Fenway, I believe. Gully now trapped right around half court, and that's going to be a backcourt violation on Fenway.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier, Pat. The guards have got to go back and get the ball. In this case, Thornton or Tarver, they've got to go back and get the ball because David fouled out. That's really the first time we've seen missing David so much.
Young steps into a jumper. That one off the back rim. Sullivan with the rebound. Here comes Tarver. Down the floor to Carter. Good feed inside to Thornton. And Fenway's got their first lead since the second quarter. Oh, good feed inside to Young, who gets fouled.
Again, Sullivan hustling back on defense.
And that was on Aiden Sullivan. A third, team 7's two-shot shooting foul for Mattea Young.
Mattea Young now at the free throw line for New Mission. Shooting 2.
Again, we talked about the free throw woes for New Mission. Even when they were up 9, they were missing free throws.
Right.
And here they are now down 2.
9 for 22 at the free throw line, well under 50%. The Lady Titans. Young 0 for 2. Jashari Green chasing after the loose ball. Drayton stepping in for a 3. She's short with that one. And that'll go back to Fenway.
Full court pressure by New Mission.
Carver gets it into Sullivan. Carter on the drive, tries to get it to go. Stays with it, but it's stolen away by Green. Jashari Green, the freshman, and ties it up at 40.
Yeah, you had to win that last bounce, right?
And a turnover by Fenway. You mentioned how much of a seesaw this game has been. Looked like Fenway had a chance to sort of break this game open a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. Chances. Turnovers will kill you, though.
What a block by Tarver.
Timed that perfectly.
And Shania gets it poked away. That'll stay with the Fenway Panthers. Substitution for New Mission. And Jayla Gonzalez comes back in for the Lady Titans. Shari Green gonna get a breather. Tarver working on Young. And Shania will head back to the free throw line.
We talked about her. She's a junior, but she's definitely one of the leaders of this team. I mean, she's played a lot since her freshman season, so she's used to being out here in crunch time.
And she's unable to hit the first. Tarver knocks down the second, so Fenway back on top by 1 here with 4:27 left to go in the fourth. Drayton gets it poked away. Tarver over to Thornton, who steps into a 3, but it's back off the back rim. Ashley Surratt gets it swatted by Carter. Gonzalez unable to put it back up and in. Both teams with some opportunities. And a good poke steal there from Ashley Surratt. Here comes Drayton. Couldn't get that one to go. Gonzalez back to Surratt. Ashley, no good on the jumper. Gully with the rebound. And a bad turnover there from Tarver. Here comes Kiara Surratt with a full head of steam, and she gets fouled on her way to the rim.
Back and forth action. So we got some tired players out here, but they all have that championship, city championship on their minds. Strong drive. We see that from Surratt all the time.
Third foul. It's a two-shot shooting situation for Kiara Surratt.
Kiara Surratt, the junior, good on the first. New Mission can't buy a free throw right now. Substitution for Fenway. Asia Sullivan back to the bench. We saw the Chaplin back in for the Lady Panthers. So Surrett will have one more, trying to tie it up here for New Mission. And banks home the second.
Hey, at this point, they'll take them anywhere they can go in.
That's right. We're tied up at 45 here, 3:36 left to go in the fourth quarter. Carter off the up fake, trying for the reverse lay-in. And put back, no good inside from Chaplin, and now it's back out to Tarver. Inside to Chaplin, no good. Carter, put back, no good. Chaplin, put back is good.
What was that, 5 offensive rebounds in that one sequence? That'll be a foul on Young. Thornton, rather, I'm sorry. Still 1-1. Watch Chaplin, stay with it. She actually started the whole play because she got the initial miss. Kept the ball alive for Fenway.
So Drayton now back at the free throw line, shooting 1-1 for New Mission. Next foul on both teams will be in the bonus. Drayton short on the first. Gets her own rebound, and they're going to whistle Gully for the foul.
So it's now double bonus the rest of the way for both teams. Every foul will be 2 shots.
If you're New Mission, I don't know if you want that right
welcome
now.
it, right? You're right. But the way this game is playing out, with less than 3 minutes to go, it's going to come down to free throws.
Drayton is able to hit the first.
Chance to tie again.
Two for two is Drayton. They're tied up again, this time at 47, just under 3 minutes left to go in the fourth. Tarver dribbling through traffic inside to Chaplin. Now it's Tarver with the jumper, and she'll head to the free throw line. Like Ashley Surrett on the foul. Excuse me, that's on Tanasia Drayton.
Watch Tarver step in for this baseline shot. Hit on the forearm.
Tanasia Drayton now has 4 fouls for New Mission. As Tarver looks to break the tie. And she does. Tarver's really been the one player that's been consistent at the free throw line.
She really is. I mean, she's started the game strong with she opened the scoring with a big 3 from the corner. Made another one early in the fourth quarter.
Here comes Tanasia Drayton back down the other end. Can't squeeze it home. Carter with a rebound for Fenway.
They brought Carter up top to give Tarver a driving lane.
Tarver on the drive, tries a runner, well off balance.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good. Good point. That one she was definitely off balance. I don't know if she just took too long a step or what, but 2 more free throws for New Mission.
You're in double bonus at Chaplin's first foul.
Chaplin with the foul, and now Surrett at the free throw line shooting 2.
The players out here are glad to see free throws that can catch their breath.
Right.
Because the pace has been something this fourth quarter, back and forth.
And Surrett no good on the first. Looks like Surrett's really trying to use the backboard
she
now.
is. She made one earlier that way.
Surrett no good on the second. Rebound to Chaplin. Still a 2-point lead for Fenway. Tarver gets her shot. Oh, they call a foul on Ashley Surrett, so Tarver will shoot 3 free throws.
Fouls on Ashley Surrett. That is her fourth.
Shania Tarver right now 5 for 6 from the line as they see the foul.
The arm in, fall through the body.
From that angle, looked like there was a lot more contact than we saw from this side. So Tarver looking for a 20th point of the game. She's unable to get it. 5 for 7 from the line now is Shania.
She's had a really good all-around game, though. I mean, other than some couple of unforced turnovers, everything else she's done has been positive.
No good on the second. So the most consistent free throw shooter so far here tonight. Misses her first 2. And now New Mission wants a timeout here. 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Fenway with a 2-point lead trying to hang on. And both these teams back and forth. Right now they're struggling at the free throw line though. With both teams in the double bonus, that's what it's going to come down to.
We said that with double bonus this last 3 minutes, 2 minutes now, clearly free throws are going to decide the game.
Seth mentioned in his opening stand-up talking to Coach Hercule that he was worried about the free throw shooting of his team, and it really hurt them here tonight. We'll see what both these teams can come up with in the last 2 minutes of this game. Both teams have really had a lot of contributors tonight, too. I mean,
definitely.
you look at Tarver, who's been the best scorer probably on both sides, but Miara Carter had a really good third quarter to get the team back into it. If Natalie David could have just stayed out of foul trouble, she was on her way to a very good game as well.
That's one of those things you got to roll the dice. I mean, John Rice left her in, even though she got that 4th foul in the 3rd quarter. But she made it. She played as long as she could. And Fenway's actually done pretty well. There was only one sequence where it was clear her being missing had an unforced turnover for Fenway.
I wonder if Coach Rice wanted to get her in there to make that comeback more than to.
I think that's what it was, because she did have some very nice assists.
And Tarver goes 0 for 3 from the line. Carter with the rebound, and it was a walk.
Yeah.
She did take an extra step.
She's right under the basket. Not sure what. A little over anxious, and did slide that other step.
Tarver almost with the steal as she pokes it off the scorer's table.
A foul on Thornton. So 2 more free throws for Jones Drayton. Yeah, we've had 5 missed free throws with the score 49-47.
That's right.
So Thornton just fouled out.
Josiah Thornton.
Wow. That's a big loss, because she was actually there. There's 4 fouls. Okay.
And Coach Rice made sure that was just her 4th foul, so she stays in the ball game. As Thornton knocks down the first. Drayton with a chance to tie it up here with this second free throw, and she does. So we're tied at 49.
Talk about seniors. That's 4 in a row for her, even though she really struggled earlier in the game.
Thornton trying to squeeze it inside, but it's stolen away by Surrett. Up to Drayton. Tanasia off the crossover, scores off the window.
Looks like it's going to come down to Drayton and Tarver.
Gully up to Thornton. Inside to Carter. Chaplin inside. And now we got a jump ball. That will stay with Fenway.
Well, they've been running that weak side cut by Carter. We'll see if she dives to the basket again.
Carter off the inbound. Surratt up to Drake. Tanasia squeezes that one home.
Well, she knew Thornton couldn't defend because get the 4 fouls.
4-point lead for New Mission. Here comes Tarver. Back down the other end. We had some contact, and
it'll be a blocking foul.
Tarver will head back to the free throw line.
Foul on Surratt. That is her 4th. We're in double bonus. It is 2-shot foul.
You see a strong drive to the basket.
2.
And all of a sudden, Tarver's gone cold at the line.
It's funny too because we just, like I mentioned, we just saw Drayton hit 4 in a row. That's the 4-point lead they have right now.
Tarver knocks down the second. 3-point game, 52 seconds left to go. Here comes Young. Trying to go coast to coast. She fell on her way to the rim, and Tarver comes away with it. And Tarver loses it out of bounds. That'll go back to New Mission.
42 seconds to go. 3-point game. As the 2 boys teams come in, get ready for their championship.
Tay Young gets it poked away, and New Mission calls timeout.
No, the officials.
Did the turnover happen
right,
before
exactly.
or after the timeout?
That's the discussion right now. That's exactly the discussion right now. The ball may have already been free. Looks like they decided they're going to give the timeout.
So New Mission gets the timeout with 34.6 left on the clock. So New Mission will have the basketball coming out of the timeout, 3-point lead. And once again, Fenway and New Mission City Championship coming down to the wire.
Now that's the last timeout for New Mission, which is key. John Rice has to decide here if he's going to, how much defense is he going to play. Let's see.
You see Mitchell Hercule up top calling the timeout before the turnover. So good call by the officials. So like you said, Alan, we'll see what John Rice wants to do.
He has to decide how long he'll give his girls to try to get a steal, or if he wants to foul right away, since the Mission's had such difficulty at the foul line. Because right now he's got to save some time for himself.
You see Coach Rice, as we mentioned, looking for his 18th city championship. Meanwhile, New Mission looking to avenge their 2-point city championship loss from last season to Fenway. Out of the timeout, they get it into Drayton.
Well, Thornton can't, you got to double team her. We'll get the ball out of her hands somehow.
Now it's Shari Green with it in the corner. She's trapped, and we have a jump ball that's going to stay with New Mission.
I think now we got a foul. It's almost 19 seconds. No shot clock. Somebody else got a foul. Somebody else got a foul. Thornton.
Fenway can't just let Drayton run the clock out here, and finally they commit a foul with 7.2 left to go.
What the miscommunication was. Thornton didn't want to foul. She has 4 fouls, but the second person didn't come. Tarver came up the first time. Then on that one, he had Carter finally come up and get the foul.
7 seconds left. And if Drayton can hit at least one of these,
you're right.
That should seal it.
Close the door. There you go.
And she does. Makes it a 4-point game with just 7 seconds left. Tanasia Drayton drills both free throws, 5-point game. Fenway's got to score in a hurry. Tarver.
And timeout.
Back down the other end.
That's going to do it.
And that is going to do it. As the New Mission Lady Titans are the 2017 Girls Boston City Champions.
And well-deserved, I'll tell you. Well-deserved because it looked rough in that first quarter.
Yeah, it was not pretty early on.
It took them, what? It took them 5 minutes to score the first hoop of the game. Drayton went coast to coast to get the first hoop. But then, like you said, they dominated the second quarter.
They really did.
A 9-point lead at halftime, and then were able to hold on at the end. Finally, they got some good free throw shooting from Jones Drayton at the end, the senior. Who,
that's right.
Like we always say, you want your senior, your experienced seniors on the line in crunch time to decide the game.
Without question, and as bad as the free throw line was for New Mission here
Ends up winning
tonight,
the game.
Tanasia Drayton at the free throw line won the game for them. So
Right.
it's funny how things flip-flop like that. Meanwhile, for Fenway, certainly a tough way to lose. I think Natalie David fouling out late in that third quarter was big.
Huge. Yeah, because see, and you pointed out in that third quarter, David really was a catalyst along with Tarver with that comeback. Once Fenway went down 9 at halftime, you saw David doing a good job penetrating dish. You know, Carter was the recipient of some very easy layups to help bring that lead down to a tie game. But once she fouled out, you're right, they had to make some adjustments, and it just wasn't the same. Some unforced turnovers really hurt Fenway. Matter of fact, both teams had unforced turnovers, but it seemed in that fourth quarter, the unforced turnovers by Fenway hurt them more than the ones for New Mission.
That's right. They seem more severe there late in the game for the Fenway Lady Panthers. The New Mission Lady Titans are the 2017 Girls Boston City Champions. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the Game of the Week MVP, our game-winning coach, and our final stats right after these words. Don't go away.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
got a quarter.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can.
Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
With the groove, show move, keep it smooth as I bust the move. And yo, step in swiftly, with me, keep up. If not, just stop, pop a spot, put your feet up, read up, pay attention, listen to the melody. Remember what you heard, got my words to the spell of me. Top notch, got them all jumping like hopscotch, jumping rope like double dutch in the air. Show me what you got, keep it hot like the heater. You thinking you a treat, cause you're sweet, but I'm sweeter. Leader of the pack, cause they all stay behind me. I'm old school, you don't skip tracks, you rewind me.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the New Mission Lady Titans defeat the Fenway Lady Panthers 55-50 in the 2017 Girls BPS Boston City Championship. And Alan, we saw New Mission really struggle in that first quarter. Second quarter, they came out blazing. And then in that fourth quarter, despite not shooting well at the free throw line, their senior, their point guard, Tanasia Drayton, took over.
Well, that's exactly what coaches want. I mean, when you come into a game knowing it's going to be tight, like you said earlier, it's going to come down to free throws. And both teams really struggled so badly, and they're good teams. So to have such, both shot under 50% from the free throw line for the game, but key was Jones Drayton made 6 in the last couple of minutes to ice the win and get the championship.
Without question. Let's take a look at the final stats from this game before we talk to our MVP of tonight. And first up, it's the Fenway Panthers.
Yeah, you see, Tava, great game offensively, 20 points. She was consistent, like you mentioned, Pat, throughout the entire game. The big girl, Mira Carter, had 12 points, most of those in the third quarter when they were making their comeback. Rebounds, Kyle with 13. Gully had 8. Assists, 4 for David and for Thornton, who played in the backcourt.
Let's take a look at New Mission's final.
New Mission, meanwhile, Drayton, as you mentioned, you talked about those free throws. She ended up with 23 points. She really had very few points at halftime, but second half was her territory. Young, who had a really great second quarter, both of those 12 points.
That's right.
Helped to give New Mission that 9-point halftime lead. Rebounds, Surrett with 11, Young with 9, and then 6 assists between Young and Drayton. So New Mission just probably had a couple of more minutes of better play than Fenway, and that was the difference.
Yeah, that's right. It was very razor thin throughout this game. Tanasia Drayton, fantastic ball game, but especially in the fourth quarter. She's our MVP tonight, and she is with our sideline reporter, Seth Oretsky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Tanasia Jones Drayton and head coach Mitchell Hercule. Tanasia, you had 6 points in a row to take the lead, 10 of the last 13. You're a senior. This is your first championship. What was going through your mind when they took the lead late, we're going back and forth, and when you finally took the lead in the championship?
I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I thought we was about to lose, but we did it for my sister. And this is my first one out of all 4 years, so I just had to finish it out strong.
A year ago, you had a chance to tie it in overtime, missed the shot. Fenway had the championship. Does this feel a little bit like redemption for you and for your team?
Yeah, and we lost to them in February, so I wasn't losing twice in a row.
John Rice said that he wanted to play you guys every other week. He thought the competition level was so good. How much is this not only going to help yourself, but your team heading into states?
It's going to help us a lot because we don't play good teams during the regular season. We blow everybody out. This is our only competition, so it gets us ready. Yeah.
How much does this help to play on this stage for all the freshmen and sophomores on this team? You've obviously been deep in the state tournament, but for some of those players who maybe could use some seasoning heading in.
It's going to help them a lot. They got 3 more years ahead of them. It's not going to be easy. This is my first one out of 4 years, so they'll be all right.
Tanasia, I remember you as a freshman. Congratulations on winning as a senior. Coach, Fenway went on the run. We knew they were going to do it. You were up by 13. They came all the way back, took the lead a couple times, but never stretched it. It was always 2 points, 3 points. How big was that for your team to not give Fenway what they wanted, that 6-7 point lead, and a chance to close it out?
I mean, it's huge. When you keep it to 1 possession, 2 possessions, anything can happen. And I feel that we had the best player on the court. So if you get that 1 or 2 possessions, I feel like she could get it done.
You said that you needed to shoot 75%. How's 50%, 16 to 32?
Awful. We'll be back in the lab, getting it together, shooting the free throws for a half an hour. 50% is better than the 25% that we shot yesterday, but that's atrocious. Going into the state tournament, we got to get a lot better. We got to execute a lot better, play better under pressure. But I'll take it. I'll take it today. Fenway's a great team. They defend well. They got great size. Fortunately, we got a couple girls to foul out over there, so I'll take this one. I'll take this one.
Coach, when the game's back and forth like that, how much easier does it make it to have a Tanasia out there where you don't have to worry about the offensive end? You know she's going to take care of that, just trying to get the defensive stops.
The funny thing about her is she looks at me and she says, should I run the play or should I go? And then transition, I tell her every single time to go. But then it's like, I'm not sure, Coach, what should I do? I'm like, go, go, go. I'm going to have high blood pressure yelling at her, telling her to go. But she did a great job that fourth quarter. She stepped up when we needed her to. I kept telling her big players step up in big-time moments, and she did that.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. A little bit of redemption for last year. We'll head back to the table with Pat and Allen.
Thanks very much, Seth. Whenever a team loses to another team in a championship game the season before, it always seems like that bad taste in their mouth fuels them throughout the season.
Well, that's going to be one of the best parts of this win for New Mission. And it's interesting because all 4 years we've known Tanasia, and she's always been sort of really soft-spoken.
Right.
And it's just like Coach Herkley just said. You know, she'll ask him, should I just go or run a play? He always says, just go, because you have that kind of talent.
That's right.
And it was even quiet the way she dominated the fourth quarter. I mean, other than the free throws, she made a couple of nice drives to the basket.
Right.
She had some key steals. She created jump balls. She had a lot of little things to give her team more possessions. And in the end, got the 5-point win.
Without question. Tanasia Drayton's talent was definitely on display here tonight as her New Mission Titans win the 2017 Boston City Championship. Folks, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Game of the Week. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/Game of the Week. All the games from this season are up there. You can follow us on social media. Check out Facebook. Search for Game of the Week. A lot of good videos, pictures, updates. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We got the Boys City Championship coming up in just a couple of minutes, but for right now, we're going to say so long from Madison Park High School here on Game of the Week. Take care.